Well, hello everybody and greetings from the RTR, the Rubber Tramp Rendezvous, which is happening here a couple of miles to east of Quartzsite, Arizona. And during my stay here, I was able to meet a lot of fellow YouTubers, among them Mike and Stephanie of Van Life Sheldon Travels. And of course, I put their sticker in the back of Mini Teeny, and you're gonna see all this in a produced video coming up soon here. But I wanted to share with you today a quick interview that I did with them here as they visited my campsite here on the Scat and Wash part of the Quartzsite area. So without further ado, here are Mike and Stephanie.
I'm riding in my RV, wherever I want to be, 'cause I'm free in my RV, yeah.
Well, guess who I ran into here at Quartzsite, Arizona at the RTR, although they are staying at the so-called PAR-TR.
We're kind of in the middle, right? Like
it's Mike and Stephanie.
Yes.
And your YouTube channel, Sheldon Travels. Why Sheldon to begin to start?
Well,
with?
it's Van Life Sheldon's Travels, and Sheldon is our little yellow belly slider turtle. And we decided to name the channel after him because we wanted to facilitate his travels. We thought it'd be kind of interesting to. Neither one of us really, in the beginning, we didn't expect to be on YouTube.
Right.
We thought we would just start making videos for our friends and family to be able to kind of keep track of us, and that's kind of one of the reasons we started the channel,
and
right?
Oddly enough, people start watching, right?
It was really
Exactly.
amazing. We went almost a year with 38 subscribers. And
Yeah.
we produced videos, 3 or 4 a week, and had 38 friends and family, and that's worked for us. And then next thing you know, we met one YouTuber, another YouTuber, and another YouTuber.
We've been traveling for 3 years now. We started off in a Kia Soul, and now we're in Promaster City. So
What possessed you to start traveling in a Kia Soul?
Well, I guess
How did that idea?
I guess we'll do the
rewind.
rewind all the way back to I retired from the Coast Guard, and I decided to go back to college. Stephanie was already in college there in Tampa, Florida. She lived a little bit south of Orlando in a small town. I lived in Clearwater.
Okay.
And I made the 45-hour trip to Tampa. She made the 2.5-hour trip to Tampa to go to college all the time. And we happened to be in our classes together. And one day I had a bad day at work, and I knew her. We were friends, and I said, "Can I have a hug?" And she goes, "We don't hug." And I said, "But today we do." And I gave her a big hug. And I don't know what really happened, but a few weeks later, we decided to have dinner and started to hang out a little bit more. And she had a Kia Soul, a brand new 2015 Kia Soul. And one night we decided we would go to the movies, the drive-in theater there in Tampa, Florida. They still have an old drive-in theater, which is
Not many of those left.
no, there are
left.
not many. No.
And she put all kinds of blankets and pillows in the back because the seats fold down. And we kind of just hung out in the back and watched a couple of movies. And normally we would rent a room and kind of go to class the next day together and stuff. But that night she said her stepdad was a truck driver, and it was getting late. And she goes, "Maybe we could just stay here at the Pilot. We'll just stay at the truck stop like all the other truck drivers do." Well, we did it. We woke up the next morning. We went to the gym where I had a gym membership. Of course, I could get a guest in.
Yeah.
Took a shower, and so we would do the 3 or 4 days in the Kia at school, and then we would separate. And she had a job, and I had a job, and we would do our things, and we would meet back together. And then we started taking trips in the Kia between college breaks. The spring break, we went to, we would travel around Florida. And between classes, we stopped kind of working, and we thought when we're living in the Key, it didn't cost as much. So my retirement pension, we were using it as money, and we would start taking trips. We would go to the Keys, we'd go to all kinds of places in Florida that you can go to, St. Augustine for Christmas one year. And then we basically did that for 6 months, and it was Christmas time. So we decided, which kind of started our little tradition now, of getting us a hotel room at Christmas. So
to treat yourself.
Right. And so we kind of bought each other a Christmas present of each one of us getting a room for the night. And we had a couple nights in a hotel, and we said, all right, we're not going to get hotels after this unless we really need to. We're going to start living in the car. I tore out all the back seats, put a false floor in, put a TV and refrigerator, and we had a swamp cooler, which isn't super effective in Florida, but it helped. Every night we'd go into Walmart and buy 2 bags of ice and put it in the swamp cooler and hope. We ended up with an Anytime Fitness membership, and at first before that, we decided we would go look at apartments. And they were $1,500 a month, this and that. And I thought, we're going to be graduating from this college and moving to another school, and we're going to break the lease. Does that make any sense? So we did 6 months in the van. And when we moved to the other school, the other college, they wanted to give us a dorm room and all that, and we're like, I don't want to spend that money on a dorm room. So we went and looked at like extended stay places, and they're so expensive. So we just looked at each other and said, we'll keep doing it in the car until we can't do it anymore.
And you're still doing it.
So we decided 2 years ago, it's been 2 years, that we decided to take a trip to the Keys. We actually boondocked right next to the Hemingway house in the Kia Soul for a week and enjoyed.
Well, that's really stealth.
It really was super stealth. In the Kia Soul, we got away with it. So we really enjoyed it, and then we stopped at Bay Honda, got a campsite right there on the water overlooking.
Those are hard to get, let me tell you.
One night, I got one for one night, and that was actually our first video. I decided, well, we're here, and maybe I should make a video. And we had the Christmas tree up in the Kia Soul, and a table and a TV and all the stuff. So I made a little video of Sheldon and stuff, and that's actually our very first video.
And how long ago was this?
This was 2 years ago.
2 years ago. So you've grown quite a bit.
We have grown, yes.
That's really cool.
Basically from there, we decided to head back, go back to school. And something unfortunate happened. Someone slammed into the back of us on the interstate. And at first they we're going to fix the car. They gave us a rental, a van, a little small black Ford Transit, a little one. So we kind of lived in it for a month. And then when they said we're going to total the car, we basically had 2 weeks to find something. We drove to Miami. We took a month, We drove to Miami, Orlando, all over the state of Florida.
We had to stay in a rental vehicle, and so we kind of just threw everything in the rental vehicle. And then the insurance, they really did rush us to try and pick a new vehicle, but we're like, we know what we're doing, so we're not trying to
We're not going to try to rush too much.
So what did you decide eventually to get, and why?
We were looking at the big vans.
Actually, we decided to get a Dodge Ram Promaster City, and we just really loved the fact that it was small and we could afford the gas. Because as he was saying, we were looking at the big ones, but for our budget, it just wasn't practical.
It just wasn't
the
practical.
City is the
tiny
short
one.
one.
It's short.
So we can't even stand up
We
in
can't stand up in it. But it works.
It's small,
So you
get
built
around.
it inside and made it comfortable enough for the two of
Yes,
you
we
to...
built it out all ourselves. Only thing we didn't do is tint the windows. And Steph and I, every weekend and every day before school, after school, we would install something. And now we have hardwood floors, running hot water, and oven
At some
stove.
point, I wanna
Yes.
go tour for
Yes,
sure.
we'll head over
Definitely,
there.
we will do
yes,
that, yeah.
but
Yeah.
now it's like home to us, and so we've been living in that for 2 years now, and this year we've pretty much spent on the West Coast, so it's been really nice after doing the East Coast last year, 2 years ago,
Years ago,
and then
right.
this year doing the West Coast has been amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Any future plans? Where are you going next?
I think after here, we're actually going to head to Slab City and kind of hang out there a little bit. I know this whole little RTR group is heading that way. And thinking Marty.
Everybody knows there's a little like prejudice about Slab City. Is it really safe to stay
I
out
think
If
there?
you're in
so.
a group, yes, because we honestly didn't want to go there by ourselves, but we went there with our buddy Joe, and he really knows the lay of the land.
Right.
And it's like, the Ponderosa has music, the Range has music,
Right.
the Oasis is kind of like a little coffee shop and stuff like that. So it's like, as long as you know the lay of the land, you do feel comfortable there and you can enjoy yourself. But I just feel like if you go by yourself, it's overwhelming, you're sketched out.
I was there last year, and some parts are kind of intimidating.
It is.
Yeah.
I was by the East Jesus, and there's
Right.
the Salvation Mountain,
Mountain.
the landmarks, and of
Marks.
course there's the range.
Right,
But
yes.
besides that, some places in the back.
But we went there last year for a couple of weeks with our friend Joe, and we kind of...
Yeah, I guess if you're in a group and you are with people who
which
know
is
what
really
they're
nice
doing.
because
it's-
the RTR every year they leave in a caravan to go to the Slab City.
So that's kind of what we kind of went with last year.
And
Got a little
and
taste
after
of
that,
it.
where are you going after that? What are your plans? Planning to go back east, or
I think
We
we
think
might
so,
be
yeah.
heading to Mardi Gras.
that sounds like a great idea.
That
man.
sounds
Yeah.
like a good plan,
Yeah, that sounds
right?
like a plan.
Yeah.
We've kind of felt like we've done the year out west here, and there's so much more we want to see here. Don't get me wrong, Colorado was amazing. Oregon is
And you
phenomenal.
guys are young, but a lifetime is not enough to see everything
No.
that there is
Right.
to see
Of
in this
course.
country. Imagine the world. But,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yes,
Absolutely.
exactly.
Any international plans in the future at some point, or
South America, yes.
Pan American? That would be good, right?
That's kind of. I spent 20 years protecting this country, and I didn't get to see it. I got to see around the border, around the
Right,
ocean border, but I never got to see the Zions and the Capitol Reefs and the Yellowstones. And this year, I got to see all of those places, and they were truly amazing. So we didn't see everything, and we did that on purpose. So that next
you
year
got
we
an
could go
excuse- an
back to
excuse to
go
come back,
back.
right?
Right,
Yeah, if you see
exactly.
everything in the first time, there's no reason to head back there. So, but we're kind of thinking New Orleans for Mardi Gras, and we might head east and a little northeast and kind of hit some of the places that we made videos of before of all of the East Coast, but not a lot of people watch those videos.
Well, we didn't have a lot of subscribers.
We didn't have a lot of
you have to
subscribers
repost
then.
those.
Yeah,
or,
so
or go back.
we're just gonna redo them.
Redo
And I
them.
feel like that's our editing skills are a lot better than they were. Our
Besides-
camera equipment is a little bit
Right.
better.
Yeah, of course.
Right.
You always improve with time.
We
and
feel
everything,
more
yeah.
natural on the
Yes.
camera now.
And besides YouTube, are you doing anything for income on the road, or this
I
is-
have my retirement, and we do Patreon, of
Yeah.
course, which is pretty much YouTube.
Are you doing any like solar installs or anything
No,
like that?
oh yes, we do.
I know you've been, because
We
that's
are-
what I've heard. I don't know if that you make a living.
Yes,
kind
not
of
really
doing
making
that,
a living
but-
doing that. We both have an electrical engineering degree, and we are doing some selective solar installs on people that we know personally.
But it's not something that you want to do for like a
No,
living.
not for a living, but it does kind of supplement a little income.
Everything helps.
Helps on the
when
Yeah, it
road.
does.
So,
Definitely.
and that's kind of how you progress on the channel. If I feel like if I do a solar install, maybe I put that money back in the channel with some kind of improvement in
Reinvest.
camera or the van or in some way in that nature. Which
Well, Anyways, it's been great chatting with you guys. It's been great actually
Yes.
finally meeting you in person.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And one more time, will you tell our viewers where to find you online, your YouTube channel, and your own social media as well, of
Yes.
course?
Yes, we are Van Life Sheldon's Travels, and we are on Facebook, Instagram, and Patreon.
Yep, and YouTube. So
Yep.
please come over and check us out. We have about 400 videos up at the moment. So
There you go. Until next time, thank you so much for watching, and see you on the road.
bye, guys.
Safe travels.
You thought the interview was over? It's not. Well, I came back, and now Mike and Stephanie are gonna give us a quick tour of their ProMaster van here, and well, I'll let him start.
Hello, everyone. I'm Mike,
And I'm Stephanie.
and we're Van Life Sheldon's Travels. Sheldon's our little yellow belly slider turtle. You'll meet him in a little bit when we get inside the van and start hanging out. We've actually been on the road now for about 4 years, and we've been living nomadically for the last 2 years in our 2016 Ram Promaster City. It's the small version of the big version that we have here. So we've got about 38 square feet of living space in the back, and it runs on a 2.4 liter 4-cylinder with a 9-speed transmission. And we have upgraded our tires to kind of a snow tire / AT tire with a pretty good grip and 4 to 5 ply on the side, so it kind of gives you a little bit more protection out here in the rocks. And in the we run a cover, a vinyl cover. It kind of helps insulate. We do have inside covers too, but when you're out here in the desert, this kind of keeps the insulates and keeps the sun and the heat and the cold, you know, for temperature regulation. Up on top, we have a 305 watt, 36 volt house solar panel. I'm sure it's a little dirty at the moment, but it powers this whole rig, and we have 4 Optimum deep cycle blue top, gray bottom, deep cycle starting batteries that power all of the stuff inside of this rig that Stephanie will show you here in a minute. We do have surveillance cameras, and as we go around the rig, I'll show you. We do run surveillance on all 4 corners with these little cameras. There's a monitor that Stephanie will show you on the inside right above the TV that allows me to see everything that's going on around us in the van, and records to a server in the cloud, as also it goes to my phone if I want to check it somewhere. So there's 4 of these cameras so we can see all the way around, and in the incident that someone was to hit us on the road, we would have complete surveillance to give the police in case something was disputed. Up here on top, we needed some more storage, so we went with a nice little box system that I just kind of made myself. Everything is mounted to the actual mounting brackets of the ladder rack up here, because it has factory bolts that you can actually bolt into. And I put in a truck box here along the back side for still more storage, and we mounted an ARB awning on here. Inside one of these boxes is actually a full room that can enclose into this backside. For security and for driving at night, we have 2 LEDs on each side up here that we remote control can light. So if I'm driving off-road, I can light up the area and see where I'm going in the cameras. Or in the middle of the night, if I hear something, I can turn them on and I can see perfectly through the cameras. Or they strobe. If I feel someone is threatening us, I could basically blind you in the middle of the night with these and deem you inoperable. So then let's go on around the other side here and check out the electronics for the solar setup. We kind of mounted all that right here on the wall. And as you can see, I kind of cut a tent out and use it on both sides so we can slide the doors open and closed to be able to have a little air. And this is just a tent cut up and tucked in and taped inside. But we have the Renogy charge controller and a 300 watt pure sine wave inverter, and that seems to take care of our needs. This is a master boat switch to allow me to control the voltage from the isolator and the smart charger from the alternator and allow it to charge the batteries, and I can control that manually instead of letting a solenoid or a smart charger do it for me.
Right.
So let's head inside and Stephanie will show you the rest of the rig.
Well, this is actually the star of the show. This is Sheldon. He's actually 3 years old and he's been traveling with us. We got him from my friend's pond in Florida, and he went all the way to Maine with us, back to Florida, over to San Diego, and then up to Seattle. So he has been to all 4 corners of the United States. So he's a well-traveled turtle. All right, and we'll get you started with the tour. I'll kind of take you around this way. We'll start with the instant on hot water. We like this because then we are able to have a outdoor shower. So it comes with this nice shower hood, and it came with an 8-foot hose, so that was nice. We have plenty of space to be able to wash. Then we also use the hot water to run our sink, so we are able to wash our hands and face in the morning and in the evening, and we could still wash dishes like normal. And then over here we have our Camp Chef oven, and this is really nice because it's got 2 burners, and then it is a regular oven. We do use it as storage. I have my cutting board in here, my cookie sheets, and my cast iron pans, so that's really nice. Underneath is kind of where I store all my seasonings. And then here is multi-purpose. Like up front we got all of our silverware. This is kind of like our medicine drawer, and then this right here is our electronics drawer. So it's all kind of compact in one space. And then this is our bed. It is a slatted bed, as you can tell. So it slides out to about here, and we put the table down, and then we'll put this board over here, and we'll slide out the cushion, and then so it's either all living room or all bed. Underneath the bed we have a lot of storage. We usually just set this up just like this. We have our clothes in here, which is, these are our sock bags. Then under here is our freezer, our Alpine Cool. You could use it as a fridge or a freezer. We like the freezer because you could have frozen pre-made meals or vegetables. And when we were using it as a fridge, we kind of just put liquids in there like gallons of milk, creamer, and things like that. So over here are the rest of our clothes. Back here is kind of miscellaneous stuff, but under that miscellaneous stuff is a piece of wood with 4 deep cycle batteries going under it. It starts from here and the batteries end here. So that's a lot of fun.
That's perfect.
I'll just set that down. And then this is our nice little table. We use it, and we use paper towels for everything from toilet paper. So that's really nice. We compacted everything to just paper towels. Then we do the classic shoe holders for all of our miscellaneous stuff, like our wires or perfume for the day or pencils or pens and things like that. So that's really nice. Then we kind of put this netting up here as like a catch-all too. Eventually we want to build a cabinet to get rid of this and this netting, but that's what we had to start with. Then we have our TV with our boosters on the back. We do use a Verizon Jetpack. We like those a lot. This is the monitor Mike was telling you about, the view from the Fort cameras. Oh, cool. This one's covered up with the white cover, that's why you can't see anything. We do have a smart TV. We do watch the news, have apps like the CBS apps and NBC and things like that, so we like those. And then our toilet to finish up the tour. This is a battery operated Curve. It does contain fresh water, so you have flushable water, and then it has a waste bucket, and that's Mike's job. I don't do anything with that. And that's our humble abode.
Oh wow, let me tell you, for the size of such a small van that you guys have, it really has everything you need.
We really wanted it to feel like a micro-sized apartment. We did not want to feel like we were living in our van, so that's what we tried to do.
We like to know that when we're on the beach, we can actually take a shower outside, hang out like we have a beach home, or in the mountains in Colorado, we can be right near the snow slopes or anywhere.
What do you do for shower? You have like a room that you build
actually
out here,
this
like...
actually transforms into a big room. We have the sides and a floor, and we can actually take a shower right out here.
Sometimes we'll just get in our swimsuits and just come off the side and do
And
it
take
like
a little
that.
shower
Don't
in
even
a
pop
bathing
up a
suit.
room or nothing. Yeah, depends on how hot it is.
Depends
If
on
it's,
how warm.
if it's chilly, we'll put up the room.
Yeah,
to block the
like
wind.
like right now, it would not be a good idea to
Right,
shower
e-
outside.
exactly. We're not trying to get
And we
sick.
use this in between. We also do an Anytime Fitness membership, which allows us access to the gym 24 hours a day, 7 days
How
a
many
week.
gallons of water storage do you guys have?
We run 7 gallons underneath the sink, and then the
That would
toilet.
be like your gray.
No, it's like fresh
Fresh water.
water.
And then we have only like a gallon of gray water because we figure we usually drink it or cook it or do something with it. So
Okay,
that's
so
why.
you-
So we'll store 7 gallons of fresh water and only, I think it's a gallon and a
Gallon
half.
and a half of gray water.
Yeah,
And then the toilet holds another 4 gallons of water also to flush in
Yeah.
the toilet. And we usually carry a jerry can of another 6-gallon jerry can with us. So it kind of helps.
How often do you have to like empty the toilets for the 4 gallons?
We can go about 10 days.
Oh, wow,
10,
that's-
11 days between the two of
Yes,
us
and that's the two
with
of
the
us.
water and the toilet and the propane. They seem to all go about
Yeah.
the same time.
Right.
The toilet will be full, the water will be out, and the propane will get low in about 10 days.
And
so.
we actually do use our little oven as a heater. I know a lot of people have buddy heaters, but we just.
But yeah,
go-
if you open it up, I guess yeah.
Yeah,
Right,
that's
yeah,
it's-
same
it's
principle. It's
same
such a
principle.
Dual
small
purpose,
area.
Yeah, we crack
exactly.
it open, and having the cast irons inside really absorbs the heat and
Right,
then just
so we can
radiates
turn it
that
off,
heat.
and then it'll still be warm.
That's
yeah.
a great idea.
Yeah.
And your solar panel, you say you had 350 watts?
305 watts.
305 watts and 300 amp hours. Do you think that's like the sweet spot? Like,
I would think that you would want a little bit more. If I could have 500 watts with the 300, that would be ideal. You want to
Okay.
have a little bit more solar than you have batteries, so that whenever a cloudy day like today,
yeah.
you still get the appropriate voltage and
We
amperage that you
do
need.
still find ourselves running the van for about half an hour every day.
Just to be safe,
Just to
just to
top
top
them
them
off.
off, if we do not drive. But we haven't left this spot in 10 days.
Yeah,
so
we were here since the 8th.
Since the 8th, so, well, no, it's not been 10 days, so 7 days. So we got a few more days left,
Yeah.
but that's kind of showing where our water's getting a little lower. So, but
well, thank you so much for the van tour.
thank you
Yeah.
for stopping by,
Van
Robert.
Life Sheldon's Travels. I'll put a link again in the description and somewhere up here. And check them out.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
guys.
Safe
we really
travels.
appreciate it.